What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today, you guys. Well, tonight for a brand new review. Oh, yeah, excuse me. We're here for a brand new season, brand new review of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, you guys. This is season 14, episode number 1, you guys. This episode, what was this episode title? Because I don't remember. The episode is titled, what was the episode titled? It's something with Grace in it. It's something with Grace in the title. Grace Time is Over. That's the name of the episode, you guys. Now, before we do get into it, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel, you guys, and if you guys aren't subscribed yet, you guys know the routine. I need you guys to do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, sharing the video, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let us go ahead and get into the episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Shall we, you guys? All right, you guys. So be sure to join me tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. Central Time for a brand new, we're going to do a live review of Beverly Hills as well. I still got to watch New York. I don't want to, but we'll watch New York first thing tomorrow morning. So I got to schedule these lives for New York and Married at First Sight tomorrow. I'm probably going to watch Married at First Sight first and then come back to New York. But we'll talk about it. But yeah, be sure to join me tomorrow for, I guess we're going to be doing 3 lives. Beverly Hills, New York City, Married at First Sight. So the episode, we're not going to start where the episode opened up. I'm actually going to go and get the person out of the way who, in my personal opinion, didn't have a whole lot, and that was Garcelle. Garcelle. So the episode opens, we see a montage of the girls. We see Garcelle is getting ready to head down to Atlanta, right? So you guys know Garcelle is producing. She had 2 movies that came out earlier this year on Lifetime. I saw the commercials for them. I did not watch the movies. She had one with Von Hebron where she was, it looked like a more modern day version of How Stella Got Her Groove Back. And she did another abducted movie. Now that one, I saw the trailer for it, but I didn't even remember when that movie came out. I think Notori Nottin was in that movie as well. Because I think that's what it was in that promotional picture that they showed. So we see Garcelle, like I said, she's in Atlanta. Her son Oliver came down, and Oliver looks good, right? He you know, we saw Oliver since Garcelle's been on the show. We know Oliver has struggled with addiction. We know that Oliver got married. We know that Oliver got divorced. We know that Oliver got divorced because of some stuff that he was doing over there on Vanderpump Rules. So good to see Oliver. He's looking good. You know, he's talking about the fact that his son is getting ready to start kindergarten. And that's really it with Garcelle. We see Garcelle go on set, and that was pretty much it with Garcelle. Nothing nice, tight little bow with Garcelle. Y'all know I love Garcelle, so we're going to keep it pushing. So next up, you guys, let's talk about Kyle real quick. So you guys know, last season, it was all the talk was about Kyle and Mauricio's marriage. And was Kyle a lesbian? Was Kyle dating Morgan? Is her name Morgan Wade? I was about to say Morgan Wallen, but that's a man. I think it's Morgan Wade. So I'm gonna talk about you and Kyle. When we get to the to Sutton's party, we gotta have a conversation about you, beloved, because you tried it. And you guys know how I feel about Kyle. You guys know that I do like Kyle, but you guys also know at the same time, when it comes to Kyle, I ain't got no problem with calling Kyle out when I think Kyle is on some BS. And Kyle, he was on some BS, right? So we find out from Kyle that Mauricio and Alexia have both moved out of the house. So we see as Erica went to go see Kyle, right? So we find out about Kyle and Dorit that those two have not saw each other since last season's reunion. I was like, wow. Now, what I do know is after the reunion wrapped and aired, because it was some time before they started filming. It was some time in between they started filming, right? because I remember it was so funny to me that solid 8.5, you know, when they announced that she wasn't coming back, I was like, thank the good Lord, because I could not deal with another season of solid 8.5, right? Then Crystal announced that she wasn't coming back, and so we got the news that, now I don't remember when, I think when we found out about Bose, they were already filming, and they had been filming for a while before we found out about Bose being added to the cast. Bose, Jennifer Tilly, as well as Kathy returning, right? Neither here nor there. So we see this flashback scene because I skipped a scene, but we'll come back to it in just a minute. But we see a flashback scene to where Dorit and Erica were having a conversation, right? And so Dorit and Erica were talking about the dissolution. Yeah, it's the dissolution. The dissolution of the friendship between Kyle and what's her name? Dorit, right? So if you've been watching Beverly Hills, you guys know where I think this. I think I said it last season. I believe I said it last season where you could see that after the season, so we're season 14, 13, so season 12 reunion. You guys remember the season 12 reunion, right? That at the season 12 reunion, that was the season when they went to Aspen, right? And you guys remember, Renna was still on the show, and Renna was talking about the fact that, you know, when they were in Aspen, you guys remember, they went to the club, right? Kyle and Kathy had it out at the club with each other. You guys remember Erica said that at the club that Kathy called some guy the F word slur, right? And you guys remember Renna said when she and Kathy got back to the house that they were staying at, that Kathy was talking about how dumb Sutton and Crystal were. She was talking about Kyle. She was talking about Bravo. She was talking about everybody. And Renna was pretending as if she was scared, right? So you guys remember, we get to the reunion. And the reunion, Renna and Kathy were going back and forth with each other. You guys also remember that Kathy wasn't happy with Kyle because when Kathy had went over to Kyle's house, that Kyle had told Kathy that Renna was coming over, and Kathy felt the way about that, right? So you guys remember that at the reunion, Kathy and Kyle were talking to each other because they were sitting right beside each other. And that's when Kyle was kind of cowering a little bit. And I was like, Kyle, why are you acting like a child? She even did it at last season reunion. I was like, Kyle, why are you acting like a little bitty kid, like you're a kid? So remember, Dorit and Erica were trying to interject. And Erica stopped at one point, but Dorit kept trying to go. And Kyle was like, this is between me and my sister. Like, I don't need you to interject. And Dorit was like, you know what? Fine. Cool. So, Dorit had told Erica that she feels that Kyle punishes her. And I was like, you know what? I can kind of see it that way. Now, I didn't know nothing about this Amazon Live thing until this episode. So, I guess, not I guess, because they showed it. She said they weren't really friends like that. And I was like, isn't that interesting, right? Because is it the Fox Force 5? It's the Fox Force 5, right, guys? I never knew what the name of it, but you guys remember the Fox Force 5, Fox Force, Fab Force, whatever the hell it is, right? You guys know, remember it consisted of Kyle, it consisted of Dorit, it consisted of Erica, it consisted of Renna and Teddy, right? Those were the 5 girls. They linked up with each other from season 8, because I feel like that was from Teddy's first season up until season 10, Teddy's last season, because season 10, I remember it distinctly. The season 10 reunion, because you guys remember season 10 on Beverly Hills, we had Garcelle, that was her first season of Housewives. You had Kyle, you had Erica, you had Dorit, you had Teddy, Renna, and Denise. So you had those 7 housewives plus Sutton as a friend of that season, right? And I remember it because they said it either, I think they said it at some point. I forgot where they said it at. But after the reunion, the 5 women went out with each other, didn't invite Denise, Garcelle, or Sutton, but y'all ain't that close. So Kyle, that's BS. Y'all been rocking in tight since Dorit even joined this show. Like, okay, Kyle, you are full of shit, right? You got to be honest with you. So Kyle feels that, well, she's not. She doesn't feel she has a issue with Dorit because at BravoCon, Andy asked the question of rank the Richard sisters from your favorite to least, right? And so Dorit grabbed her drink to take a little swig, and Kyle slapped it out of her hand. She said, "Well, obviously, right now Kyle is at the bottom and Kathy is at the top." So, she feels a way about that. I was like, okay, whatever, Kyle. That's crap. That's crap. I think she was being a little. Dorit was being cheeky. Dorit was being cheeky, Kyle, and you knew that. But okay, Kyle, it is what it is. Now, we're going to move on to the next person, you guys. So since we were talking about Erica, let's backtrack. So we open up with Erica's scene. So Erica is at a furniture store. You guys know Erica still lives in that house. For her to call a house small, you know what? It's small for her because that house ain't that small. But okay, it's small for Erica compared to where she came from with Tom. Speaking of Tom, we'll talk about Tom tomorrow in the live because there's some updates when it comes to Tom, and even with Erica, right? So she's out shopping with Dorit, and here's my thing for you, Erica. I'm gonna keep the same stance that I've had for the last few seasons with you, starting from season 11, I believe. From season 11, was it? That was season 11 when we got the news about Tom and these victims, right? So here's my thing for you, Erica. I still feel absolutely not a damn thing for you. I don't feel nothing for you, Erica, because there are people out there who lost loved ones, your husband, because you and Tom are not divorced at all. You're still legally married to Tom, right? So your husband stole from those victims. You lived in that house. You were able to live that lavish lifestyle off of those people's dime. Let's be real. Now, did you know about that stuff? No, you probably didn't. But I don't feel bad for you that you had to downsize. So miss me with the bullshit, right? So Dorit told Erica that she and PK are separating. And I was sitting here looking at this. I was like, Dorit. This seems like a bit of deja vu for us. Because we'll talk about it once we get to it. Because there are a lot of things that I want to talk about when it comes to Dorit. But I'm going to say this one thing real quick about Dorit. Dorit, we the fans have been complaining about you for the last few seasons that you have no damn storyline. And I feel, like I said, we'll talk about it in a little bit. So, Erica was shocked. I was like, why are you shocked, Erica? You said I know you were being shady at BravoCon when you were asked, who do you think the next couple would be splitting up? You said Dorit and PK. And honestly, it's because on this cast, well, no, they weren't the only couple on this show. Because Kyle and Mauricio at that time were still together. Erica was just being a shady person. So Dorit is talking about the fact that there's some, PK has some drinking issues, right? Later in the episode, she talks about that he's an alcoholic. We'll get to it later. So Dorit says that at this point, she and PK are taking things day by day, right? And so Erica's like, so I'm going to go see Kyle. What do you want me to say to Kyle? And she was like, because of the place that me and Kyle are in currently, I don't want you to say anything to Kyle. And honestly, I'm not mad at that. Now, we see, I think it was Thursday, May 9th of this year. I can't remember what time it said because it didn't even have the time on it, right? So the statement came out about PK and Dorit separating. Garcelle read the statement. She's like, it's long-winded, but it's Dorit. So we see as Dorit is in the car smoking a cigarette. I'm like, I forgot that Dorit do smoke. I forgot about that. I think we saw Dorit smoking last season, but I forgot that Dorit smokes. So Dorit went over to Kathy's crib Why is Kathy in her house with this mask on her face, getting her hair done with an IV attached to her? I was like, oh, Lee Kathy. Who's Hunky Dory? Who's Hunky and Dory? I will never get over that. So Kathy is saying that she just wanted to see how Dorit is feeling. I'm like, this is very interesting that Dorit is cool with Kathy, because at last season's reunion, Kathy was very, oh, no. She had an issue with Sutton. She had the issue with Sutton, not Dorit. Because I would say well, when Kathy came into the reunion last season, she really didn't seem to be featuring anybody. Like, I think the only person that she was really featuring on that couch, because she was featuring Garcelle, but I know she wasn't featuring Sutton. I was about to say she wasn't featuring Dorit, but she wasn't really featuring Dorit either. But she damn sure wasn't featuring Sutton, and I remember that. So Dorit says that, this stuff with her and PK, it isn't out of anger. So then Kathy is like, well, are you guys still, bing, 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 bing? And she said, are we still having sex? She said, no. So Kathy says, well, do you care if he goes out? And Dorit was like, no, I don't care if he goes out. But then Dorit does say that has been a part of their, problem in their relationship, because when they first got together, they were going out. But I was like, but they also have kids too. So y'all can't just freely y'all can, because y'all got, well, can we really say that Dorit and PK got money? Because let's talk about it real quick. Let's talk about it really quickly. Because it's going to come back up a little bit later in the episode, but I'm going to go ahead and nip it in the bud real quick. And I'm probably going to talk about it again. But going back to Dorit, you and PK have had issues for a very long time. You guys know, if you guys have been watching me review Beverly Hills for the last few seasons, I've mentioned this story quite a few times in my reviews. If you guys go back and read, and you guys can Google, don't Google, you guys can find this information. So season 9, when all of them were going against Lisa Vanderpump, every last one of them had an issue with their relate. Everybody had issues. They just didn't want to talk about it. The stuff with Tom, that shit was already out there. It just wasn't on the magnitude as what it was, where it currently is. Because Tom was already being looked at for certain things, right? Tom had issues. There were some rumblings about Kyle and Mauricio, some cheating and some business stuff as well. I remember that. Then with PK and Dorit, like I said, I know I say this every season. PK and Dorit, that first trip that they took to Mexico, season 9, Bravo and the producers cut it out. There was a lady that literally followed them to fucking Mexico, right? That lady served Dorit in Mexico, because they were ducking and dodging that lady, and Dorit got served in Mexico, but the producers never showed that. But if you guys go and look, you can find it, right? So they had that issue. They had the break-in at the house that that story doesn't add up to me. And we saw it on television when they went in the house, they robbed Dorit, but they took her phone, left it at the front gate for her, and to this day, I still don't think they caught them robbers. But okay. Y'all catching my drift? I'm not, and when it comes to the robbery, I don't want anybody to be like, oh, JB, you're being insensitive. And I don't want anybody to say that, because I'm not being insensitive. What I'm saying is there are questions that I do have, right? Because they've had issues for some years. The bankruptcy. They've had money issues for quite some time. And I'm not saying that they would maliciously, intentionally do this stuff, but it's just things that make you go, that's rather convenient, right? I'm not saying that she did any of this I'm not saying that she did anything for a storyline, but I'm just saying it's mighty convenient, especially that robbery. I don't know any robbers that are going to, out of the kindness of their heart, going to say, oh, let me leave your phone by the gate so you can find it. No. And again, they still ain't found them people, and that's been, 3 years at this point? That's been 3 years. I think that was 2021 when it was 2021 because it was literally, I remember this like it was yesterday. Because I remember it was part three of the reunion from season 11. They the reunion had aired, all three parts had aired, and then I think it was like a Thursday or a Friday. Because I remember one of my subscribers, Tracy, she sent me a DM about Dorit's robbery, and I was like, that's a little interesting. It's a little interesting. But again, I'm not saying that she did it. I'm not saying that they set it up. I'm just saying it's just mighty interesting to me that those robbers picked that particular time period. But neither here nor there, right? So we see Mauricio and PK. They're talking to each other. PK is talking about, he's fine, but he didn't, he's fine, but. And Mauricio is just basically telling him what to expect since Mauricio and Kyle, they're already 1 year into their separation, right? So we find out that Kyle had texted PK. Kyle. Again, y'all know I like Kyle, but I have no problem with calling her out. Kyle, that was very weird that you text PK. Interesting. It kind of goes with what Dorit is saying about the manipulative stuff. It kind of does look that way. But okay. So we found out that PK and Dorit have not told the kids anything. PK is talking about the fact that, with him sobering up, he realized that there was some resentment, that they take jabs at each other. And he said that Dorit is not a good listener. I'm like, it took you to get sober to realize Dorit is not a good listener. We've known that for a very long time that Dorit is not a good listener, but okay, PK, cool. So what happened after that? The fact that Kathy asked Dorit, is she a good listener? She said yes. I was like, girl, a lie, don't care who tell it. So let's go ahead and wrap up the episode, you guys. So we're wrapping up the episode with Sutton. Before I get to Sutton, when they open up the episode, Dorit, when you let that dog lick you in the mouth, girl, that is nasty as hell. But Kathy, not Kathy, wrong person. Sutton. What I will say is Sutton, y'all know I'm not a big fan of Sutton. Don't see it for Sutton. Ain't gonna never see it for Sutton probably. But what I will say about Sutton is that title card. I love her title card. She looks beautiful. So we see as Jennifer Tilly. You guys know her from, if you guys don't know Jennifer Tilly is from Chucky. They actually just canceled that series on Sci-Fi. She plays herself, Jennifer Tilly, in the movie, and in the show I think she plays herself, but she also is the voice of Tiffany, the doll. She's the voice of Tiffany. We even saw Tiffany. I saw Tiffany. I don't know if I saw Tiffany in this episode or if I saw Tiffany in the trailer, but I know I saw Tiffany. Jennifer is very talkative, but Jennifer's a friend of this season as well. If I didn't say that earlier, I think I did. Now, this is why I love Housewives. Like I said last week about it when I was talking about New York, when Jessel went shopping. Now, granted, I couldn't have spent that $3,000 that she spent, but I could save up to it if I wanted to, but I couldn't spend it right out. Now, Sutton and this ring that she got on, that's $14,700. Couldn't do it. So we find out that her daughter Porter is getting ready to go to law school and that her kids will be with her this summer. Sutton talked about Spain and Merce. Merce is in the purse. Baby, I would never get over that. And then she dumped Merce and Merce flew on the girls last season. Should have flew all over 8.5. So Sutton is talking about her relationship with Kyle and how she feels like she wasn't the best friend that she could have been to Kyle last season. And I was like, okay. I mean, what I will say about Sutton last season was Sutton was getting on my, and I said it quite a few times, right? Sutton was getting on my nerves with the constant questions about Kyle's relationship with Mauricio and even stuff with Morgan. It was irritating, right? But at the same time, Kyle wasn't the best friend to you either. Let's not forget about 8.5 and esophagus gate. The fact that heifer kept talking about your damn esophagus all last season, getting on everybody's last motherfucking nerves. Thank God that lady is gone, right? So she said that she and Kyle, they met up with each other and they, it was awkward at first, but they talked to each other and they cried, so they're good, right? So we find out that Sutton is having this realist party and everybody shows up to the party. First of all, Kathy didn't have on nothing that I think would be realist. Surrealist is, if I said realist, I meant surrealist. Kathy didn't have on nothing that was surreal because I actually Googled it a few minutes ago. I actually Googled it before I came on here to see what a surrealist outfit looks like. And it's kind of over the top, costumey like stuff, right? It's kind of like, I'm gonna show you guys. Can you guys see the pictures? Which I think Kyle hit the mark, Sutton hit the mark, Jennifer hit the mark, Erica hit the mark, Dorit, I don't know what Dorit had on, and then that damn disc Dorit has on her head. I was like, girl, if you don't take this disc off and throw it, toss it, do something with it, but get rid of it. I was sick of seeing that damn disc. What else? Bose, we are introduced to Bose, who is a new cast member. Love her. Beautiful, gorgeous woman. I don't know if you would say Bose's outfit was surrealist. I don't know. But she and Dorit hit it off with each other. Dorit opened up immediately to Bose, telling her about the stuff with PK, that he's an alcoholic. They are separated. I was like, girl, who is this Dorit? And so we found out that Bose is a widow. So she and her husband, they had separated 10 years ago, but they never divorced, and that he passed away from cancer. My condolences to you, Bose. And Bose is 47 years old. Girl, you look amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. We see her and Garcelle. Garcelle came in, they kissed they gave each other a hug and kiss. So I guess her and Garcelle will be cool. Thank God. You know something? Let's talk about this real quick. I want to talk about this real quick because I thought it was mighty convenient. Oh, she talked about that. Never mind. We talked about that at the reunion last year. We talked about it at the reunion. Because I was about to say it was mighty convenient that other lady who was there last season didn't want to defend. She did it I forgot. She did it at the reunion. And I talked about it then. And we ain't talking about it no more. Because she ain't on this show. Because I forgot about that. She talked about it. But now, never mind. Moving on. So, Kyle gets to the party, right? Now, Kyle, goodbye, Kyle. Kyle. I want to say it one more time. Kyle, girl, who are you? Who do you think you fooling, Kyle? We were all there last year. So, you want to sit here and try to put the whole, is she a lesbian? Is she dating Morgan on the tabloids? No, ma'am. Absolutely not, Kyle. You did a whole music video with that girl, and that shit emulated. I mean, you could definitely see the chemistry there. Now, do I think Kyle is struggling with her sexuality? Mm-hmm. I do. Kyle, it's okay if it's okay to like a little puss. Ain't nothing wrong with no puss, right? Ain't nothing wrong with a little puss. Ain't nothing wrong with a little, whatever you like. It ain't nothing wrong with them. While they were talking, because Kyle is talking to Erica and to Garcelle, she's telling them about Mo and Alexia moving out. She's talking about, she doesn't want to say Morgan by name. I was like, girl, we know who Morgan is. So you might as well say the girl's name, right? So when Dorit came over and sat down, things were very awkward between those two. And then Kathy eventually showed up. Kathy, girl, you are ghetto as hell. When you got there, you started taking your extensions out and put your extensions in the chair. I was like, first of all, that's nasty. Second of all, that's nasty. Third of all, that is nasty. Bitch, that is how lights, well, that's how it gets passed with y'all. How about I say, that's how lights get passed around, but that's how it get passed around with y'all people. Not my people. Shut up, JB. So after that, this is the part of the episode where I was like, what the hell? But it was funny to me. So Sutton has this woman by the name of Yellow Cat performing. Some of the lyrics of this woman's song, it says, you want to take me home and bust me out. Then it says something about the power of the, see the pussy power and superpower pussy. I was like, girl, say what now? So after Yellow Cat performed, Dorit and Kyle, when they had a conversation, Kyle, you know Dorit, right? That conversation ain't going nowhere, and it really didn't. But honestly, I'm on Dorit's side. Because Kyle, that Amazon Live, you were foul as fuck for it. And Dorit told Kyle that she just had enough of feeling used by Kyle. I was like, well, y'all actually been using each other, but okay, Dorit, you know, go ahead, girl. Speak your speech. Shout out to Miss Misha for that one, but speak your speech. And Kyle got upset with Dorit, and I was like, but y'all have been terrible. I mean, y'all ain't been, never mind. Girl, it is what it is. Y'all can let me know what you think in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, share the video, you guys. And until the next time, stay safe, take care of yourself, wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one, you guys. So be sure to join me tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central Time for the live of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And I don't know when we're going to live for New York City, and I don't know what time we're going live for. You know what, I'm going to try to do these, I'm going to try to do them early. So I'm going to try to do them as early as I can. But just keep an eye out, you guys. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.